Good morning, yogis, and welcome to your morning yoga flow. Today we are going to do a flow that helps you to kind of work out all the kinks. So whether this is the first movement of the day for you, or perhaps it's your morning break and you want to move around, it'll bring some more movement, some more energy to the body. So please join me on your mat. If you do have a chance to grab a couple of yoga blocks, you can have those handy, or perhaps a blanket to maybe prop the hips on when we're in a seated position like this. So come onto your mat. You're just going to cross one shin in front of the other in our easy seated pose. And we're going to actually just check in first, and we're going to create a little mantra today. And our mantra is basically something that we're going to recite to ourselves throughout our practice to help us really hone in to what we're doing on our mat, but also our outcome and how we want to feel at the end of our practice. So today our mantra is, I am present in the moment. So very simple. And I just want you to close your eyes and just begin to repeat that mantra to yourself. You can say it quietly to yourself. You can maybe speak it out loud to create more positive charge and energy on it. However you want to recite it, just begin by saying it to yourself. I am present in the moment. 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 Continue as I let you repeat it a few more times to yourself. Maybe tucking the chin to the chest a little bit. Begin to flutter the eyes open. And then go ahead and release the chin level with the floor. And remember that you can always practice that mantra throughout class today. We're going to be doing a little shorter sequence today to wake up the body. So we're going to start by coming down onto our back on your mat. And then go ahead and bring those knees in towards the chest, lightly holding the fronts of the knees. You're going to give yourself a little rock and roll from side to side, a little massage on the low back. And then holding it center. Go ahead and take that right knee, hold it in towards your chest. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and extend the left leg all the way out. You can touch the heel and the leg to the floor. Inhale as you bring that left knee back in. Hold the left knee. Exhale and extend the right leg out. Inhale the right knee in. Exhale and extend the left leg out. Inhale the left knee in. Exhale and extend the right leg. Inhale the right leg, exhale and extend the left. One more time each side as you inhale and extend the right leg. Inhale and extend the left leg. Inhale and extend the right leg. Go ahead and bring both knees into the chest. Set the feet down on the mat and just heel toe the feet out a little wider. Maybe you go ahead and take the arms overhead, maybe cradle opposite elbows as you release those arms back behind the head, kind of in a square, framing the head. And then just go ahead and give those knees a little windshield wiper wash from side to side as you just give them a gentle drop. They don't need to touch the floor. Just kind of moving from side to side, nice and fluidly. Remembering to breathe. See if you can keep your belly button a little pulled in towards that spine.
trying not to arch that low back too much. Keeping that integrity in the core. And bringing it back to center. Releasing the arms. And drawing those knees in towards the chest. You can cross the ankles if you like, holding behind the legs. We're just going to start to do a little rock and roll, a little massage on the spine as you kind of roll a little further up, a little further back, whatever's available to you as we begin to wake the spine up. And then when you're ready, a little rock and roll up to seated. Go ahead and just cross one shin in front of the other. I'll come to face you here. Good. Sitting those sit bones down nice and tall. Take an inhale. Sweep the arms up. You're going to interlace the fingers and press the hands up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's take a little twist to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale and twist to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale and twist right. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale and twist left. Inhale, tall. Exhale and release those arms down. Good. Take another big inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to walk those hands forward. Now, if you have a block and you want to use the block for the hands or the forearms, go ahead. As you walk yourself forward, release the forearms, release the forehead, release the back of the neck. See if you can keep those sit bones on the floor in contact with your mat. Perhaps again, coming back to that intention that we created at the beginning of the class with that mantra. I am present in the moment. And when you're ready, inhale as you roll the spine all the way back up to sitting. Good. Go ahead and switch the legs. Opposite shin comes in front this time. Take an inhale. And as you exhale again, begin to walk forward any amount. Maybe releasing the forearms onto the mat or the floor, relaxing the head as the neck relaxes. Relaxing those shoulders. And when you're ready, inhale as you roll up the spine and come to seated. Good. Bring those hands on the fronts of the knees. And we're going to take a couple of cat-cows here. As we inhale, use the hands, pull back on those knees as you lift and open the chest and the collarbones. Maybe lift the gaze. And as you exhale, draw your belly button into the spine, round the back as you drop your chin to your chest. Holding on to the fronts of the knees. Inhale as you lift and reach forward. Exhale as you round back. A few more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And come to seated, up nice and tall. Good. From here, I'm just going to have you lean back a little bit onto your hands. Keep those ankles crossed. Perhaps you want to cross them the other way if it feels more comfortable. We're just going to do a little rock and roll forward to come onto our hands and knees. Your choice if this works. If not, just try something else as we come forward and step back onto the hands and the knees. Good. We're going to plant the hands at the front of our mat, spread the fingers nice and wide, press down into the knuckles and the outer circle of the palm. And then when you're ready, go ahead, lift the hips and find your downward facing dog. You can go ahead and pedal the heels out, alternating one heel down and the other. Do not lose that contact, that foundation through the hands. And when you're ready, let's take a big inhale. Come up high onto the toes. Stretch the bottoms of the feet. And as you exhale, go ahead and sink those heels back towards the mat. Good. Maybe you want to go ahead and wiggle your tail out a little bit, whatever feels good. And then settle into your down dog. On your next inhale, we're going to begin to ripple forward as we draw our belly button up towards our spine, rounding the spine forward. Shoulders over the wrists into your plank. And as you exhale, you bend the knees, arch the back as you look forward, spread the collarbones, send the hips back into your downward facing dog. So we're just working with this, playing a little bit. It's kind of like a little cat-cow, but we're working through our down dog and plank. So you may not look exactly like me. That's okay. We're just playing with this. You can always drop the knees as well. Up to you. Always options. A few more times. Last one. We're going to all meet in our downward facing dog. Good work. This time, let's come forward to our plank pose. Drop the knees into our kneeling plank, and as we exhale, release ourselves all the way down to the mat. Elbows stay close. Making sure we press into the tops of the feet. We're going to inhale into our cobra, little baby cobra. Exhale and release. 2 more times. Inhale, peel the chest. Exhale and release. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale and release. This time, let's press up onto all fours. And exhale back into child's pose. Open the knees nice and wide, big toes to touch as we settle those hips back towards the heels and release the forehead towards the mat. Take a couple of breaths here. And on your next inhale, let's lift the forehead off the mat and start to walk our hands over to the left side of our mat. Maybe you go ahead and you keep those right fingertips propped as you release the left hand. Inhale and exhale as you take your nose towards that left knee. So we're just reaching those right fingertips and right hand over towards the left corner of the room as much as we can, feeling a nice opening in the right side of the body. Inhale back through center. Exhale as you take the hands this time over to the right side of your mat. Take an inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale, sink that nose towards the right knee. Inhale up, come back to center. Exhale into your child's pose, forehead to mat. Good. Inhale. Let's come up to all fours. Exhale this time as we turn the toes under and find downward facing dog. Send those hips back. See if you can find your foundation in your hands as you rotate those upper arm bones into the center of your mat. On your inhale, let's go ahead and sweep your right leg back and up into 3-legged dog. And as you exhale, let's bring that right knee forward, pulling up towards the chest. Find some room to be able to set that right foot down between the hands. If not, just work that right foot forward. Let's drop the back knee. Inhale as we sweep the arms up into our low lunge. Inhale, lift. And as we exhale this time, let's take that left arm, or that right arm, my apologies, sweep it back and bring the right arm forward as we twist to the right side of our mat. Reach the arms out. Take an inhale, lengthen. And on your next inhale, let's sweep the arms back up into our low lunge. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Inhale as we take our right arm open above the right shoulder, twist to the right side, little revolving lunge. Draw the belly in. Press out of that left shoulder as you press the left hand down into the mat. Good. Exhale, right hand down to the mat. Go ahead and step back to your high plank. And as you exhale, drop the knees. Release ourselves all the way down to the mat. Elbows graze the ribs. Inhale to your cobra as you lift. Exhale and release. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep that left leg back and up. Exhale as you step it through, bring that knee up to the chest. Create some room here as you pull the heel up towards the butt cheek and step the left foot forward. Drop the right knee, and on your inhale, sweep the arms up to low lunge. Find that low lunge here as you pull your pubic bone up towards your belly button. And on your next exhale, let's sweep that left arm back, right arm forward, as we take a little twist to the left side of our mat. Smile. I am present in the moment. And on your inhale, let's sweep back up to our low lunge. Exhale, right hand down to the mat. Inhale as we turn and open, left arm floats up for a little revolving lunge. See if you can draw the belly in. Press into that right hand, lift that right ear away from the right shoulder, and exhale the left hand down. Go ahead and inhale as you step back to your high plank. Exhale, perhaps this time lowering from the toes as we come down to the mat. Inhale, lengthen into your cobra. Exhale and release. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog as we lift the hips and press back. Go ahead and inhale, right leg sweeps back and up, three-legged dog. Exhale. Now again, remember as we draw forward, see if you can round the back as you pull that right knee forward through to the chest, lift the right heel, create some space to be able to place that right foot down. Good. Shimmy that right foot over towards the right thumb. And on your inhale, let's sweep up to high crescent lunge. Arms reach up as we sink into the hips. And this time on your exhale, taking it to prayer, twisting lunge. Palms come together as we spin to the right. Now, if that left elbow doesn't get over to that outside of the knee, go ahead and just extend the left arm. Slide your right hand into your back pocket. You could always drop the back knee down. Firm up that back leg. Lengthen on the inhale, exhale into your twist. Excellent. Inhale, come back up to your high crescent lunge. Press down into the feet to find your foundation. Exhale, this time left hand to the mat or block. Inhale as we turn and open for revolving lunge again. Again, you can always drop the back knee. Keep pulling that right hip back. See if you can really open up a little further as you lean back to the person behind you. And exhale, hand down to the mat. Go ahead and step back to your high plank. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, your choice to lower from the toes or the knees as we come down to the mat. Inhale to your cobra. Perhaps you notice it's getting a little bigger, a little more range of movement as your hips stay on the mat. Exhale and release. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg sweeps back and up, three-legged dog. Exhale. Again, bring that left knee forward. Round the back as you use the abs to pull the hips up. Lift the heel and then set the left foot down. Good. This time, working up into your high crescent lunge. Inhale, come all the way up and sink. Firm up that back leg. This time on the exhale, again, moving into your prayer twist. As you twist to the left, all right, this time again, working that right arm over, right elbow over. If that doesn't work, then go ahead, extend that right arm. Slide your left hand into your back pocket. You can always go ahead and drop the back knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you draw the navel in into your twist. Firm up the back leg. Find your breath. Find your intention. On your inhale, sweep up to your high crescent lunge. Exhale, right arm down, hand to the mat. Turn and open on your inhale into your revolving lunge. Again, keep some tension, some activation in that back leg, and keep pinning that left hip back. Exhale, hand to the mat. And on your inhale, step back to your high plank. Exhale and lower, your variation. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale and release. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's sweep that right leg back and up. Exhale as we bring that knee forward. Use the abs to lift the hips. Press into the hands. Press away from the floor. Step that right foot forward. And then go ahead and start to work your way over to that right long edge of your mat. Into your straddle stand. Inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Go ahead and start to walk your hands towards your left foot. If you can work those hands to the outside of the left foot, go ahead. If not, then just keep them in front of the foot. If you can, maybe you can work your hands up to grab hold of the outside of that left ankle. We're going to begin to bend into the right knee, giving a little squat into that right side of the body as we feel that pull and stretch through the right side of the body. Drop the head, release it. So not so much a yoga pose here, more of a mobility type pose. Come on back up, release the hands, bring them to center. Inhale up halfway, lengthen forward. Exhale and release into your fold. Go ahead, walk your hands over towards the right foot this time. Maybe they just stay here. You can add the bend in the left knee. Or maybe you go ahead and grab hold of the outside of that right ankle, and then bend into the left knee. As you sink left, you begin to feel that pull, that stretch and opening through the left side of the body. Release the head, maybe through the inner thighs as well. Good. Exhale and release. Come back to center. Inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Go ahead and start to turn towards the front of your mat. Find your lunge. Good. Hold it here. Now see if you can come up high on your fingerprints. as you sink your back hip a little bit and lift your chest forward. Go ahead and plant your hands. Step your right foot back to meet your left into your plank. And as you exhale, take a little vinyasa as you come all the way down to the mat. Inhale to your cobra, lengthen, tailbone to the heels. Create some space in that low back. Exhale and release. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, sweep the left leg back and up. Exhale as we draw that left knee forward and step the left foot between the hands. Go ahead and start to walk over to the left side of your mat, finding your straddle on the opposite side of your mat this time. Inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. This time perhaps moving those arms and hands, walking them out to the front of you. Spread your fingers and finding almost like a variation of your downward facing dog as you release your chest and your chin back towards the legs. See if you can keep your weight between your heels and relax the back of the neck. And then slowly start to walk the hands back under the face. Inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Begin to walk yourself towards the front of your mat again, finding your lunge. Left foot forward, right leg back. Come high onto your fingerprints. Inhale as you extend that right heel back. Extend those collarbones, heart center forward. Find some firmness in the back leg. And go ahead, plant the hands. Inhale as you step back to your high plank. Exhale and lower. Inhale to your cobra. Light on the hands. Exhale and release. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Draw that lower belly up and in. And remembering we don't have to push those heels down into the mat. All right, we can keep the heels lifted, knees soft as we take those sit bones and lift them up towards the ceiling. For me, I can press the heels down, and that's okay for me to still stay in alignment in my low back. Let's go ahead again and inhale. Sweep the right leg back and up. And as we exhale, let's bring that left knee behind the right knee behind the right wrist. My apologies today. As we back the left leg up, center the left leg, center of the body, finding pigeon pose. So again, this is where your blocks come in handy. If you need to, you can always prop a block underneath that right hip. You can stay high here on your fingerprints or your palms as you keep those hips squared to the mat. Or perhaps you come on down onto the forearms, either onto the mat or the blocks, as you get a little bit lower. If you do get lower, I want you to think about extending the spine, keeping that length in the spine, not rounding it out, but see if you can keep the length. And then slowly working your way back up onto your hands. We're actually going to bring ourselves onto that right butt cheek. We're going to swing that left leg around and cross it over that right knee. Lift the hips up, set them back down so you feel both sit bones grounded into the mat. From here, you can pull that right heel in towards the bum a little bit more. We're going to take our left fingertips behind us. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, and perhaps find stop sign hand on the outside of that left knee, or gather up the leg. Inhale, lengthen again. Exhale as you twist over to the left. Maybe your gaze over that left shoulder. And then go ahead, gently unwind. We're going to take that left leg. Let's bring it back behind us. Come up onto the hands and the knees as you step back, find your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg back and up. Exhale, left knee behind the left wrist. Finding pigeon pose on the other side. Centering that back leg as you release it down. Again, finding what works for you here. If you need to prop that left hip with a block or blanket or pillow. Holding here, again, finding that mantra, that intention for your practice. Perhaps maybe bringing it down a little further if you can keep that spine extended. And then slowly walking it back up onto the hands. Again, this time we're taking the weight over onto the left hip. Swinging that right leg, bringing it around in front and crossing it over that left knee. Again, press into the hands, lift the hips and set them back down so you feel both sit bones. This time, right fingertips come behind. Inhale, left arm up. And depending where you're going here, if you're gathering up the knee with the arm or working the arm to the outside of the knee in our stop sign. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you twist from the core, from the belly, the low back. And then add in the ribs and the chest and the gaze over the shoulder. Begin to unwind as you slowly come back to center. And then this time, unraveling the legs and taking them out in front. Shake out the legs if you need to. Taking it to a seated forward fold. We're going to work a little flesh out from the back of the butt there so you can feel your sit bones. Inhale the arms up. Exhale as we hip hinge forward from the waist, tilting the pelvis back. Maybe you can take peace fingers around your big toes. As we exhale into our seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Maybe the hands are on the shins, perhaps the knees are a little bent. Perhaps you need to prop the hips up with a little blanket. Do what you need to. Inhale, let's come up halfway. Exhale and release. Let's go ahead and bring those feet onto the mat. We're working into our reverse tabletop here. So feet are in line with the hips, about hip distance apart. Hands come back behind us, fingers point towards the hips. All right, we're going to press into the feet and the hands as we lift the hips up towards the ceiling into that reverse tabletop. So on your inhale, let's press all the way up. You can hold here, keeping your chin towards your chest. If you can get the hips in line with the knees and the shoulders, feel free to drop the head back between the shoulders if that's accessible to you. Press into the feet to lift those hips. And then slowly bring the chin back to the chest. And release yourself back down onto the mat. Let's bring the soles of the feet together in our seated cobbler's pose or butterfly pose. We're going to grab around the ankles, take an inhale, and as we exhale, a little hip hinge forward. Maybe using those forearms to gently press those inner thighs open if that's accessible. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale as you bring those knees back together. Go ahead and find your way onto your back again as you gently roll all the way onto your mat. Relax your head. And maybe center the pelvis a little bit. We're going to go ahead today and we're going to cross the right leg over the left for our spinal twist. Extend the arms out to the sides. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, go ahead and start to drop the knees over towards the left side of the mat. Now, if this is too intense for you, then feel free to uncross the legs. Just bring the knees together. You can also use a block to prop up that bottom knee. See if you can work your right shoulder blade back down to the mat. You can go ahead also and drop the chin towards the right shoulder if you want to add in that top part of the spine into the twist. And then slowly lifting the knees, unwinding the legs, and bringing yourself back up to center. Centering your pelvis and your hips again. And then go ahead this time, cross left over right. And on your exhale, dropping the knees to the right side of the mat. You might notice a difference in size. You might feel a little different. If there's any extra torque or twisting or hurting on that low back, go ahead, uncross those legs. Work that left shoulder blade back down. Use your props if you need to, underneath the knees. And then gently release the knees a little bit so you can unwind the legs and bring yourself back up to center. Again, centering the hips. Go ahead, walk those feet out wide. And again, just a little windshield wiper wash of those knees, side to side. Perhaps you can drop a little lower. And bringing it back to center. Let's go ahead and gather those knees in towards the chest. Maybe seeing if you can wrap the arms around the fronts of the shins. Grabbing hold of opposite forearms. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw as you draw the knees in towards the chest, stretching out through the low back. And then slowly releasing those feet back down onto the mat. And your choice today if you want to go ahead and find your Shavasana, or you can immediately just kind of bring the knees in, give yourselves a couple of those rock and rolls again on the spine a few times. And come up to seated, whatever suits you today. And then find a seated position if that's where you're at today, one shin in front of the other. Go ahead, maybe give yourself a couple of shoulder rolls back and down. And bringing the hands to heart center, closing the eyes. Again, just repeating your mantra a few times. Thank you so much for joining today. We'll finish our class
in our practice with one word, either saying it to yourself or saying it out loud, meaning the light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day until we see each other again. Take care.